Welcome back to my channel. As you know, on this channel, I love to educate you on the special needs and disability community. Coming from a mom of 12 years of a daughter diagnosed with muscular dystrophy who is on a trach and lives on a ventilator. So I just love to share with you about my experiences so I can help better educate you on how to love others in the disability and special needs community. Today, I wanted to share with you a poem called Welcome to Holland, written by Emily Pearl Kingsley, which I'll link it below in case you want to read it or if you want to give it to somebody. So this poem has become almost an anthem for me as I've walked this road of special needs. I was given this poem by one of Noelle's nurses who came within the first 2 weeks of us coming home. At the time, I felt so alone and I felt like nobody else knew what I was going through. On TLC called Bringing Home Baby. I don't know if you watched it, but it was all about following a mom through her pregnancy, her delivery, and then home. And so I had watched this show many times as a pregnant mom and planned what it would look like, what my delivery would look like, bringing home my baby, and all that. Well, needless to say, nothing happened the way that I thought it was going to. And when I came home with Noelle, I almost was searching that show or trying to find somebody else who came home with a baby with special needs, a baby on oxygen, a baby with a feeding tube, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I felt pretty alone until one of her nurses, about 3 weeks in, brought me a poem, and it was called Welcome to Holland. And when I read that poem, it was like, oh my gosh, if somebody else wrote this, then it means somebody else has experienced this life. And so that poem just became so important to me. So I'm going to just share it right now to you. Welcome to Holland. I'm often asked to describe what it's like to raise a child with disabilities, and for those who don't know it, this is what I say. It's like you're planning a fabulous vacation trip to Italy. You've bought the guidebooks, you've packed your bags, you've boarded the plane, and you're ready for Italy. When you land, the stewardess gets on and says, "Welcome to Holland." Holland? What? No, I'm not supposed to go to Holland. I'm going to Italy. All my life I've dreamed of going to Italy. But you've landed in Holland, and there you must stay. Holland is different than Italy. It's less flashy, and it's slower paced than Italy. But once you've been there a while, and you start to look around, you realize Holland isn't a terrible place of pestilence and disease. It's just different. But soon you'll start to find that Holland has tulips, Holland has windmills, Holland even has Rembrandts. You'll have to learn a whole new language and you'll meet people you would have never met in Italy. And soon you'll start to realize that Holland is its own special place. You'll always mourn the fact that you didn't go to Italy, and you'll always see people busy coming and going from Italy. And you'll say, yes, that's where I was going to. But soon you'll realize that Holland is its special place of its own. So that to me has been an anthem. I thought I was going to Italy, and in watching those TLC shows, I had planned my vacation trip to Italy. Italy was where I was going. Italy was where I saw everybody else I know go to and come back from, and they had their wonderful trip to Italy and they came home with their little baby. Yet my experience was nothing like that. My experience, I left thinking I was going to Italy and ended up in Holland. And that's something that as Noelle was getting older, it was something that it was almost hard for me sometimes to see people in Italy. And I remember one time I was at a MOPS group and, people were up there, they were talking about potty training and there was tears and frustration about it. And here I was sitting in the audience with my daughter currently in the hospital in ICU on a ventilator. I had left that day to just have a little break for myself and some time away. So I went to MOPS and I was sitting there at that table and realized I'm not in the same place as these ladies. I'm in Holland and they're in Italy. And it was very hard. There was moments that it was very hard, but like the poem says, I met people that I would have never met in Italy, and those people have become amazing. And also, I became a different person because I went to Holland instead of Italy. But one thing I always like to say is, now that I've had 2 more kids, 5 and 3 years old, I always joke that, man, I should have listened more when they were talking about potty training, because really, I have no idea what I'm doing. And that goes to show that it's just all relevant. It's relevant where we're at. Because I was in Holland, but now I'm in Italy. And I like to say that now I have dual citizenship. I live in Holland and I live in Italy. I live in the special needs world and I have a medically fragile daughter, but I also have typical kids, and now I'm living in that environment. So I just hope this poem helps you understand a little bit, a glimpse into what it might look like, the life of, a special needs parent. So if this poem like impacted you. And granted, I paraphrased it, so you could read the actual thing down below, but go ahead and give it to a friend who has a kiddo with special needs, or just read it so that you can have a better understanding of where we're coming from. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.